Prada and Chanel, and you still may be shopping at the local clothing store. So hey, this is Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly with Open and Honest, and today we have got something great to talk about. Because you remember we were talking about something we actually overheard somebody saying, and we couldn't quit talking about it.
I saw it on Instagram actually, and one of the questions that a young lady, she was dating a man, and she said she was saving sex for marriage. So the man in turn told her, that's good because I'm saving my finances for marriage. Do y'all think that's cool? I mean, if a guy's trying to date y'all, he's saying he's saving finances for marriage because he wants to save his finances for his wife, because you want to save sex for your husband.
So it's been a long time since we've been dating, and back in the day we didn't
longer
have.
For her. No, actually longer for me. I've been
Absolutely,
married longer than you.
right?
You're just older. That's all.
We can't tell.
Okay.
I don't know if back in the day we had a lot of money, so we didn't have the expectations that I think today's dating arena has. Because young women now have a whole lot of expectations. Louboutins, Gucci, Prada.
Your glass is one a circle and one a square.
That's the way life is sometimes.
Okay.
So, what do you guys think? What do you think about that, Dr. Heaven? Give me your honest opinion.
I think it's a double standard. I think that if you want to say, I mean, biblically, you want to save sex for marriage. That's just, we don't do it. Nobody's done it. You haven't done it. Nobody I know has done it. Maybe one person I know has saved themselves for marriage. So that's like almost unheard of. So for a man to turn around and say he's saving his finances and we going Dutch, to me that's a problem for me, because I feel like if a man likes me, he's going to try to woo me, you know? And if he ain't spending no money, he really don't like me. That's what I think, and I've already said that. So to me, that's a cop-out for a man who just maybe wants sex and just mad because you ain't giving it to him, and he really don't like me. Because if he likes me, he'll wait, and he'll still woo me, and he'll still take me out, he'll court me, wine and dine me, all of that, and probably get sex anyway. But knowing he ain't gonna get sex, just say we going Dutch, no, that's a problem for me. So what you think?
I think back in the day, that really wouldn't have been a biggie for us, because we weren't having the same expectations. Now I think men have more access to money, and crazy enough, a man's money is connected with his heart.
I agree.
And so I think you have a great point. When a man cares about a woman, he uses his money to provide, protect, and profess. And part of professing his love for the woman is to buy her roses and buy her things that make her smile. Rubies, honey.
Take her on trips.
Yes. So I do think in today's...
and candy.
All of that. Yes.
Trips and buy new earrings.
Absolutely.
And designer watch and shoes. Shoes too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so we really want to hear your comments. Leave down below your comments of what you really think in today's society, 2019. What are the true expectations from a woman and from a man? Because we don't want to be biased, even though we're women, girl power. We still don't want to be biased. Like, what would you say if you knew that there was somebody in your family who was a woman, and she said, I'm not having sex with him, but I want him to buy me rubies, pearls, or diamonds, what would be your advice?
One thing that you said that I don't completely agree with, I think that a lot of women have way more money than men in this day and age. I mean, if we use African American women, so is it wrong for a woman to pay? I think it was for us, and we probably would both say yes, we don't want to pay because we've been trained to think that way. But if you got more money, you really like this guy, and he don't have no money, I think you would pay. I would. Honestly, to be open and honest, I would pay. I would.
Every time?
Not every time, but I'm just saying, like, okay, if I'm making this money and I want to go on a trip to a nice place, and I really like him, but he just can't afford to take me there, I think I'd come out of pocket and pay some.
So what would you be looking for to say he's a good guy, though? Because if he can't afford to pay...
He's God-fearing. He's kind to me. He treats me real good. Now, if I'm paying, he got to put out.
Put what out?
I mean, he got to lay it down. You know what I'm saying?
Lay what down?
But one thing I will say is a man does not have to have a certain career But ultimately, I think he has to have motivation and drive,
Okay, that's
to
important.
actually take care of me. Because I think I was once asked a question: does a man have to be a doctor in order to be? No, he don't. But he gotta have the same drive that I do. He gotta be able to provide for his family, or he ain't really the man, is he? I think
Yeah.
men feel good about providing for their families. I think men feel good about buying something. So if they really like you, if they love you, and they know right off if you the one or not. They know right off. You got an A+. Okay, that's woman. Now you might change his mind in the long run by being crazy as hell, like some of us we know. But a man knows if he really likes you, and he'll spend his money. He will. He'll spend his money. But if he doesn't have it, and I really like him, I spend the money.
Really? I don't know if that sends the right message, though. If I
I
start,
really like him, and I want to go.
I know, but whatever you start out doing in the beginning of a relationship, a lot of time will carry over into years and years and years down the road.
He gotta have some kind of drive, though. You know what I mean? He can't just sit up and say and feel comfortable.
But
with me
wait,
paying.
Heaven, you can know how to drive a car and the car never moves.
Right? You can't follow something that's not moving. But what I'm saying is, you know, like if you meet somebody and you know they ain't even trying to do nothing, you know what I mean? Then that's a problem. But if he's trying and he got the drive and he has the intellect, I think you work with a brother. I don't know. It's rough out here on sisters. I'm telling you, I hear it every day. The women can't find a man. Okay, so if you find somebody you really like that has 80% of what you're looking for, but he's just not there yet financially. At this day and age, he probably ain't gonna never be there. But I mean, if you're younger, maybe you can help him. Maybe you can. Work with a brother, right? No.
I do think that if you see great potential and a
Right.
good spirit, most importantly God-fearing, like you said, you got a lot to work with. But if you already start feeling like you call, he's still asleep, he can't even pay his own bills, he's never taking you out anywhere, he's never buying you a gift, because it doesn't always matter how much the gift was.
Right.
Even if you buy me a card.
One row.
Yeah, those little things like that would count. Now, sex. I do believe sex changes the dynamics of a relationship.
Absolutely. It will.
And as soon as you start having sex
It
with,
can make it better, much better, or it can make it much worse.
Okay,
So-
so our topic today is when you outgrow your partner. Now, it's a real hard topic, but we thought we'd get a male perspective on this today, and so we invited Dr. Damon to be a part. And if you guys notice anything on Open and Honest today, watch Dr. Heavenly while Dr. Damon is sitting here on our set. So again, we're talking about what happens when you or if you were to outgrow your partner. We'll do some scenarios. Let's say you both started working at the same time and he became a big high executive in the company and he's hanging out with all the top board members, traveling all over the world, making tons and millions of dollars, and you still are working in your cubicle. And his thought process.
Why your eyes open up like that, baby? I'm still your wife in the cubicle.
I'm listening. I'm just listening.
But he's now his exposure is so much greater than yours, Dr. Heavenly. What happens when his thought process becomes you can't understand when he's talking about Dubai and Finland and places that you've probably not gone because the company doesn't allow you to travel
Well,
with the
if
spouse?
we're together, I would hope that he pulls me along with himself. I feel like if he's moving up, I should be moving as well. At the same time, and if he's that high up, evidently he can get me out of the cubicle.
Okay. Well, let's say you work at a whole different company and he has no right to get you out of the cubicle.
Okay,
and
well
you're
then I
still
should move over to another company, please.
outgrowing a partner. It happens every day, and I think I may not necessarily call it outgrowth. I may call it you just grow differently. Like what you want is different from what he wants. Now, I mean, he wants to dress in Gucci and Prada and Chanel, and you still may be shopping at the local clothing store.
Doctor, what do you think?
Who, me?
You, yes. You the only real.
I don't know. I mean, I really can't speak on it a lot because we've kind of grown together. You've kept it interesting, and controversial. I know that as much as most of us men, I'm sure a lot of guys out there say, yeah, I hate when she does this, hate when she does that. But if she just did everything exactly the way you want it all the time, you probably would get a little bored. So I don't really have that issue because we've grown we both have grown in our fields exceptionally at the same time. I mean, or different times. Heavenly grew first. I mean, we got out of school and she just took off, and I was still in residency. So
I'm gonna let Dr. Damon be nice for a second, but now I'm gonna say, let's say, for example, not you, Dr. Damon, but the wife has come from the hood, for example.
Not him.
A
Wife didn't come
neighborhood,
from that, right.
not you. A particular neighborhood. And she has not been able to excel to the level that you are and the understanding that you are. How do you deal with a wife, not you, but how would a man, and we'll reverse it, deal with a wife who doesn't have the same understanding as you?
teach her to understand. Like,
And she's teachable?
well, here's the thing. Marriage, the decision to marry is really important. So if you are thinking about marrying someone in your younger years, you got to think, is this someone who I can be with regardless of what happens later on? And sometimes you can't predict it. You can't always predict incredible success, but what you want to do is bring her with you in some way, fashion, or form, so that she understands these new exposures you're having, because she's part of you. You know?
So I said, at least give him a chance, at least look him in his eyes and, not be rude and act like you're interested,
So dating as a Christian, should you judge superficial? Or should you get to know him and because I'm going to be honest, I really think there's something about getting to know a person's spirit. And they're, recognizing that energy that
For
you
sure.
can feel about them. So you may not be physically attracted to the person, but there may be something about his energy that would...
I think it's important to ask a lot of questions on the first date. And, a lot of times people will tell the tale by you just asking the right questions. So I think it's very important to know what religion he is before you get intimately involved, because you don't want to be unequally yoked, because that can be a big problem, okay? But you want to know, do they believe in God? Do they believe the Lord Jesus Christ is our Savior? I think these are important things. And then after that, start talking about, do you want to have kids? Do you want to wait and have sex until we're married? We need to get all this stuff out up front before we actually in a real relationship. But being a Christian, there's a lot of things that we should not do, but people doing it anyway. I mean, I was a Christian.
And you did it too?
Didn't you?
I'm asking you first.
I mean, yes, I did. I did.
Wow.
Did you?
Heavenly, I was
Jackie, answer the
working
questions.
very hard on maintaining...
Yes or no? Did you have sex before marriage?
I've only been married once.
Right, before you got married, did you have sex
With
with
my
anybody?
husband?
With anybody in the world?
Let's go to the next thing.
Jackie, answer the question. I answered it.
I plead the fifth.
Okay then.
Okay. Okay, so let's go on into that though. When what are some other questions? And should this happen on the first date or before you ever go on a date?
Before I get attached to somebody, I feel like the first date is very important. I feel like I should get all the questions out before I get feelings for this person, before I go any further. I think the first date, and a lot of people think you're too forward, but I think time is money, okay? And the first date, I need to get certain things out. Your religion, how you feel about children, stuff like that. I mean, just throw it in a conversation. He, you know how to do it.
Okay.
But get the answers out so you know what type of person he is before you get serious about him.
Okay, and if he doesn't say the right thing to you,
You're just checking it off in your box, because there are some things that are deal breakers for me.
Okay.
So if you tell me you're not a Christian, that's a deal breaker for me.
Okay.
Okay. If you tell me you didn't want any children, that would be a deal breaker for me. If you told me you didn't want to work and I had to take over the household, that would be a deal breaker.
okay.
So
Okay.
certain things you get out in the open, and then you run their credit.
Okay, secretively or openly Christian? Openly as a Christian, are you going to run their credit secretively or openly?
Probably secretively.
Why?
I feel like that's too invasive. You know what I'm saying? I just need your social. You know what I'm saying? I can Google and find out some things about you. Look
Now,
in your
some would
computer.
think asking a person if they're a Christian is invasive.
That's not invasive to me.
Okay.
To me, it's not. But running a credit check and all of that, yes. But I need to get that information before we get too involved. I need to know your credit score, because that tells a lot about people.
Now, statistics show people who live together, they end up with a higher rate of divorce than people who don't live
That makes
together.
sense to me.
Why is that?
Why buy the cow if the milk is free? I mean, why would I marry you if we doing everything that married people do?
Well, no, I'm saying they live together. They
Y'all
get
having
married.
sex, right? You
Uh-huh,
having
but-
sex, you living together, right?
Right.
Why? And you finally get married,
married,
but then you get a divorce.
Why is that? Why do you
Because
think?
I think that some of the most intimate things and the personal things you should wait for in marriage. Like, you shouldn't live with nobody before you're married to them. That's just my personal preference. Now, I did spend a night, maybe a lot of nights, but I never physically lived.
You had your own address.
I had my own address. Most people have.
Now we have to agree with that. Now it does not make you not a Christian.
No, it doesn't.
It
Because we
does
all
not.
fall short. Yeah. So I
Oh,
think
we
that
gonna
most
get
people have done. No. I'm saying that most people have done it. So it does not make you not a Christian.
And
People
we-
should
that's
not
not
feel
what we're saying.
bad.
We
That's
don't
what we're
want
talking about.
anybody to think that
The
we're
grace
saying
of God.
that. We're
So
not-
dating while being Christian is difficult to do because most people are going to have sex.
Okay, and what I think we wanted to help our audience see is maybe there are some steps you want to take to, if you're trying to maintain that Christian walk and not.
You saying
deviate.
how do you date and be a Christian and not have sex?
We and the audience wanted to know
I don't
more
know.
about being.
I mean, neither one of us has done that, so we don't know. We could tell you some ideas. Like I said, I didn't want to have sex with everybody, so I would put on multiple layers of clothes. That's what I would do.
Oh, that was
Bring people along with me, so ain't nothing gonna happen. We got 4-5 people. If you go in this hotel room, bring 3 or 4 of your girls. Don't go by yourself. Okay, that's how you prevent that. Or you tell him up front, listen, I am a Christian woman. I don't, and
that's the thrill of the chase. Then
Yeah.
you tell some
Cause
guy
they be the main ones out there doing it.
that you're not trying to have sex. Do you think that there are people in the church who are held at a different standard? Maybe some of your Christian leaders having sex before marriage.
Honestly, when y'all say different standards, that doesn't mean anything to me because they'll be the main ones. I'm not saying the only ones that's doing it, but
I don't mean you are
exposed.
any closer to
No.
God, but I'm saying you are supposed to be.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
You're held at a different accountability and a level because you're in the church. Those people are not doing anything differently from other people. They're just getting exposed because they're held at a different. Just like with reality TV, we're held at a different accountability because we're doctors. People are people. Everybody
Today's
gonna make
topic is
mistakes.
one that I think everybody has experienced. Should, should not, could not, would not, do, don't. We're talking about relationships.
And she's done it all. Go
Should,
ahead.
Could. Now, Dr. Heaven, should one date somebody who works in the same office with them?
You know what? With casual dating, probably not. I mean, it would have to be a real big connection. You know what I'm saying? Somebody I really felt like I could have something deep with, but just casual sex, no, because it actually affects the office. For example, if I'm in a marketing office and we need really good opinions, I don't want your opinion swayed by I'm sleeping with you. And if I'm sleeping with you and it's my idea, I'm going to expect you to agree with me. And if you don't and you getting my stuff, I'm gonna be mad. Sometimes men don't want to talk about what they doing and how they doing it, and I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So my whole thing is let's talk about it, let's talk through it, but actually let's come to an agreement together.
Okay.
If we can.
Relationships are hard. Let me
Definitely.
put it that way. Even good girlfriend relationships take
Oh,
work.
You know what? And I'm not willing to do, if it's not a natural relationship that I could be myself, like, me and you, we don't agree on a lot of things.
A lot.
But you're very mature. And I can tell you what the hell I want to tell you, and you take it, whether you agree with it or not, we're not going to
Most of
fall
the time
out.
I don't, but we
Well,
don't fall
I mean,
out.
most of the time I'm right.
But that's the problem with her. She always thinks she's right in every relationship. But even good girlfriend, BFF,
Oh, so your other friend better?
my friends are not gonna let me just have my way. So
Good.
we do banter
Clash.
back and forth. But they don't think their opinion's always the right opinion.
I think that mine is right. I wouldn't have given it.
See, that's the problem. But husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend, even family relationships are hard. Now, I got a bunch of girl cousins, and boy, sometimes we go at it, and we fall out, and it's not me, because I'm going to talk to them all the time.
It's distracting for y'all to have whole conversations over there. Can y'all text each other or something? I'm just saying.
They come at the other
I
episode.
understand.
Just stay with us.
I understand, but
So,
wait.
family relationships are, because she knows, family relationships are hard.
They are.
So any relationship is going to take work. But I encourage you to not give up, cave in, and quit so fast on relationships, because some good relationships take work.
I think after knowing somebody a long time.
What's a long time?
shoot, it don't take that long. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 90 days. After knowing somebody a long time and 90 days of knowing you, I have a power of discernment. I think a lot of women do, a lot of people do, that I could say that this is a good person.
Can I stop you? Let me tell y'all the truth. Y'all know I met Dr. Heavenly when we started being
And you called that
married
girl
to
fat?
medicine. I did not.
Okay.
And she was so mean to me.
I was not.
She was
You
so
called that
mean
girl
to
fat.
me. She was
Miss
so rude
Georgia
and so
Plus.
obnoxious. So my point with this is don't give up on your relationships too fast, because there might be some good in there somewhere. It just takes a lot of work and peel back the layers and find out
Why
where
you doing
the
all of this?
I'm just talking to our
You doing
viewers
all
out
of
there
this.
to know that you don't always give up on relationships. Now, if you are in an abusive relationship, boy or girl, friend,
I did whip your ass that one time.
she tried. Y'all know I beat her up on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But work at it. Relationships are not easy, but just remember what your purposes are for being in a relationship. If you're getting absolutely nothing from the relationship, then it may be time to put some closure on it. Now, if you're going to walk around mad at that person, crying and sad and can't sleep, you're not ready for closure yet. Do you know those people who quit their boyfriend and they watch the phone like every time to see if he's going to call you back, or watch your text messages in today's society and see if he texts you back? You're not ready for closure. Closure means I can go to sleep at night, be at peace. But you have to be careful. If you're investing your body, your money, your time, because you can't get back time, talent, and treasure at all. Be careful, because those relationships are very difficult. But if you dating certain people, after 3 visits and 90 days, that's your boyfriend. So
Well, my thought on it is, after learning somebody's character and you knowing somebody is on your team, like I feel like my husband's on my team, whether he wrong, but he's on my team. So I can pretty much deal with it, and I pick and choose my battles. Like, I know you wrong, but I know you trying to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And you got that. You really think you're doing the right thing, so I'm going to let you do it. It's going to mess up, but when we do, I'm going to try not to say I told you so.
this has been Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly on Open and Honest. You can catch us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. All episodes of our Open and Honest shows are on the YouTube channel at Open and Honest. And follow us on social media. Instagram for me is The Real Dr. Jackie and
DR_Heavenly. But listen, I wanted to find out how you broke up with your boyfriends for the next episode. Can we talk about that?
we'll let you know.
All right.
Bye-bye.